Coffee is the essence of life and all of its wonder. So this is a match with babies from the clan MD. And, yes, I'm going to lead with my awesome Aerodactyl, who I haven't used in a while, and he's going to lead with Tyranitar. So I'm going to set up Stealth Rocks, because that's what Aerodactyl does. He's going to go for the Crunch, and it does quite a lot of damage, but doesn't quite hit me down in my sash. I'm thinking that thing is banded, but I'm not quite sure, even to this day. So anyway, yeah, he goes into Suicune. I'm just going to Earthquake, and it does really nothing because this is like a physically bulky Coon, and that's really all there is to say. So I decide to go out into Quagsire because I think I can like Toxic Stall it out if he doesn't carry the rest, and some Suicunes don't still. He just goes for the Calm Mind, and that's kind of annoying. Now he's going to go for the Ice Beam, which is neutral against Quagsire, but he can't go for the Surf because of my Water Absorb. So I go for the Toxic, and I get the Toxic off on it, which isn't too bad. And that's going to wither it down slowly, and kill it eventually if it doesn't have rest. Anyway, I see that Ice Beam's doing quite a lot of damage, so I'm just going to use Recover so I can recover pretty much all the damage that he's done to me. So I go for the Recover, and I heal back to above 300 health, which is pretty nifty for me. Toxic is starting to do a decent chunk of damage, and yeah, Quagsire after the leftovers is pretty good. So now he's going to go for the rest, so he actually does carry the rest, which isn't too great for me. I'm just go for the Earthquake to get some damage along, but after the rest, I mean, it's kind of pointless at that point, because I'm only doing a small amount of damage. So I don't want to stay in with Quagsire because I foresee a Calm Mind stall with him, and then just him winning that after Calm Minding a few times. So I go into Meganium, and there's two things Meganium can do: set up the Light Screen or Leech Seed, and I kind of think he'll switch, so I decided to set up the Leech Seed on the switch, and that's what I decided to do. He does switch, and he goes into Scizor, but unfortunately for me, I'm going to miss it. But the only reason he'd go into Scizor, in my opinion, is if it's a banded Scizor, and he's going to probably try to U-turn, so it's not really that big of a deal that I missed the Leech Seed. It would have done some small amount of damage. So I go into Aerodactyl to scout out what he's going to do, and he goes for the U-turn, so it's probably banded Scizor. And now he goes out into a Jirachi. And yeah, I decide to go out into my Infernape against this Jirachi, so I can hopefully Flamethrower it. And he goes out into Suicune, and Flamethrower, because it's stabbed and I have Life Orb, still does a pretty decent chunk to Suicune. And now I'm going to go for the Close Combat. If he wants to switch, I know he has the, Scizor, so I don't want to go for the Grass Knot. I go for the Close Combat because it'll do decent damage to Suicune, and if he decides to switch, it'll do decent damage to pretty much anything. So I go for it, and he survives with his Suicune in red health, and I think a Flamethrower can finish it off at this point, so I decide to go for that, just in case he tries to predict something and goes into Scizor or Jirachi or something. So I go for the Flamethrower, and that will KO the Suicune, which is yay for me. But after the Life Orb and Sandstorm damage, Infernape is actually at half health, so it's getting withered down pretty badly. So he goes into a Lucario, and that is going to try to Vacuum Wave me, but he's going to miss Magius. So now he switches into a Tyranitar, and I set up the sub because I didn't think he'd stay in. Maybe that's like a Specs Lucario, I don't even know. So anyway, I go for the Hidden Power Fighting because I have it, and it's X4 effective, and that's going to do quite a lot to Tyranitar, even after the Rock-type special defense boost. So he tries to go for the Pursuit, and fortunately I have my sub up, and that's pretty good. And I know Hidden Power Fighting can KO it at this point, so I decide just to finish it off, because if I tried to switch, I would die, obviously. So yeah, I go for Hidden Power Fighting, and that will take out the Tyranitar. Alright, so, yeah, the Sandstorm's just kind of wasting my time here. He's going to go into Scizor, and I was kind of thinking Pursuit, but maybe I thought he'd try to go for the Bullet Punch, thinking I'll stay in. predicting the obvious pursuit, but I do try to switch, and he does pursuit, so that was a great prediction on his part, and that's going to take out Miss Magius. So now I go into Quagsire, and Quagsire is, like, seriously the MVP of this match. He's amazing. So he's going to go out into Luke as I go for the Earthquake, because I know pretty much all he has left is, like, Steel types. So yeah, I go for the Earthquake, and it's super effective, and I end up getting a crit, and Quagsire doesn't run a whole lot of attack, so that probably did matter, and that really sucks for my opponent. So yeah, Quagsire is now full health again. He's going to go out into Scizor, and I'm just going to recover to scout out which move he's going to lock himself into. He goes for the U-turn, but I'm just going to recover off pretty much all the damage, which is good. He's going to go out into Rachi again, and I'm going to recover, and that heals me back to full health, which is obviously really good. Now here he's going to try to stall me out with to like pretty much flinch hacks me with Iron Head, and that's just really, really, really annoying. Yeah, Iron Head is just a completely retarded move. Especially when it has a 60% flinch rate because of Jirachi's Serene Grace. And I think he ends up getting it a little more than 60% during this battle, but that's just luck for you, I guess. I finally do get a hit here with Earthquake, and that's going to do a nice chunk to Jirachi, enough to 2-hit KO for sure. And yeah, it actually hits it down to red. But here, I think he's going to get like 6 or 7 Iron Heads in a row, or Iron Head flinches. So here is going to be pretty boring, especially for me, because I am really powerless to do anything. He's going to keep going for the Iron Head and keep getting the flinch, and I'm going to keep being sad because I can't do anything. Alright, so here comes another Iron Head, and it does like a really small amount of damage to me, and after the leftovers it's like doing even less. Like, wow, I'm not really taking any damage, but he keeps getting the flinch. So, there's another flinch for you. Let's see. And she goes for the Iron Head again, and here I believe I don't get a flinch, and I get the recover off, because the reason I went for the recover is because I wouldn't want to like kill the Jirachi only for him to go out into Scizor and revenge kill my Quagsire. I want to try to keep Quagsire alive as long as possible. So, he Iron Heads again, and I actually don't get the flinch again, which is awesome for me, and Earthquake. So, all those times that he got a flinch kind of was returned because I got 2 non-flinches in a row, and I'm able to take down the Rachi. So now he goes out into Butt Pirate, his Magnezone, and he's just going to explode, trying to kill my Quagsire or get it to a point that his Scizor can revenge kill it. But I actually go into Meganium, and actually Meganium's going to survive and actually take that explosion pretty nicely. Good job, Meganium. But he's going to go into his last Pokemon, Scizor, and yeah, I don't know what he's going to do, so I decided to try to set up the lead sheet on it, and just do that, because I'm just kind of leaving Meganium in his death fodder to see what he locks himself into. And he goes for the U-turn, which is going to KO Meganium, but I do get the leech sheet off on the Scizor now, which is nice, and I'm just going to my last Pokemon, Metagross, because I feel like it, and I'm going to Earthquake, and after the leech sheet, that's going to KO the Scizor, as he U-turns, and that does about half to Metagross, but like I said, that's game. So, great game, MD babies. Rate, comment, subscribe, guys. Yeah, it was a really fun match. I hope to see you guys again next video. Alright, peace, guys. Home nizzles. So yeah, today's question of the day is, what is your favorite steel type? And the reason I'm asking this steel type question today is because of all of the steel type Pokemon in the battle. I think me and my opponent combined for 5 steel types in this match. All of them are awesome and I love them. But anyway, my favorite steel type, I would say Scizor, but I already use him for my bug type, so I'm going to have to go with Metagross, mainly because he's an insanely powerful Pokemon. He looks cool, especially his shiny version. One of my favorite shinies in the game, and I just really love Metagross. So leave a comment about your favorite steel type, and I'll see you guys next time.